Is that better? Can you hear me? Is that better? I hope so. Because, well, the red dot was on, okay? But when I reached around back of the snowball, the connection was loose. So it was like connected enough that it was telling me that it was on, but it wasn't on. So it was being very sneaky. It was apparently a somewhat melted snowball. So I was saying that I was super glad that Radical Bacon that we were having non-Corona hugs, which are the best kind of hugs there are, as opposed to Corona hugs, which are not the best. And I was also saying Random Geek that yes, now you have a wrench and he has a check mark. So I figured that's like even, right? I did not throw my voice away. I was just successfully fooled by a very sneaky microphone. So, I'm here, you're here. Let's get started. Woohoo! So now I click that one. Ta-da! Hey, check it out. And I'm going to scooch this way so I'm more centered in the little bit of frame that I've got left. So, look. Oh, wait. No, that's right. I'm not mirrored. Look. It's the Saturday 6. So these are, as it turns out, only some of the wonderful things that have been going on in the last 2 weeks. As of Sunday or Monday, I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, what if I don't get all 6? But then it turned out, I went over. So there are only 6 that are actually listed, but there's more than 6 in my heart. And if there's time and people feel like it, then we can talk about extra stuff. So I'm going to just go with what's on there first. Oh, wow. Now I have 2 moderators. Plus Steve, who doesn't count. I say that with love, Steve. All right, so the Saturday 6. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So thing number 1, I found out that I am eligible to teach dual enrollment classes. I will have to apply in March, but I'm getting things together for that. And it's pretty exciting. So also a little bit terrifying if I end up doing it because I have never done it before and I don't know what I'm doing with it. I got my master's degree back in 2019, which ended up being like super helpful, first of all, for the pay bump. But also my concentration was in online studies. So that was like, I promise, I wasn't like looking into the future or anything. Black Cover 95, yes, every other Saturday at 6, Saturday 6. Aww. Random Geek, that's really sweet of you taking up for Steve. I don't know if I can trust him, though. Ha 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 ha. Possibly twice the money for the school. Not for me. Just a different sort of teaching. Just a different sort of course, really. So I will be teaching a college credit English class. And it's a little bit, the thought of it is a little bit, what's a nice word for terrifying? I'm just kind of not thinking about that yet because, I mean, I have to get approved for it anyway. They have to pick me because they are going to be sending out applications. Hey, Madeline. And, so essentially students who are in high school will be taking a class that gives them high school credit plus college credit. So it'll count towards graduation, but it'll also count for college credit. I think I talked to one of the other teachers who does a history class as dual enrollment. He said they get 6 college credits through a local community college. So pretty cool. Apprehensive is a good word for it, Black Cover 95. Thanks. And I mean, he said that they provide him with the curriculum materials, like an online textbook, essentially. So I probably would have that to go from, but don't breathe your tea. Steve, good word, daunting. So, yeah, I'm not really sure, what their expectations are. How many projects should they have? How much should be tests? How much should be projects? How much should be essays? That kind of thing. So, I'm just not entirely sure what I've volunteered for. But it'll be something different, and that will be interesting. So I'm definitely pretty happy about that. So the email went out as a request for, hey, are there any English teachers interested in this? And I said, I'm interested. I don't know if I can do it. I have a master's degree. And they said, well, we need somebody with 6 English credits. And I was like, oh, I got mine in instructions. So she said, EDU credits, like education classes, do not help you for teaching this. And it's like, okay. So I went and look. I'm like, I need 18 credit hours. I'm like, I have 6 classes. That's 18 credit hours, right? 3 hours per class, usually. So I sent in my unofficial transcripts, and they said yes. I was like, yes. So we'll see. Maybe they'll pick somebody else, and it won't end up being me. But it was nice to know that I qualify, at least. So that was a plus. All right. So not just me, but this was something that was interesting, and it ended up being a positive in more ways than one. So, which I will talk about maybe later. I'm not sure if it's on here or if it's on the extras. So Texas Children's Hospital and Baylor University have developed a new COVID vaccine. It's called Corbavax, and there's not going to be any patent on it. So they're just sending it out into the world. They're just sending out the information on how to make it. India has already started making it, and it's pretty cool. One of the lead researchers described it as a gift to the world, and I was like, that's nice. Sarah, I don't know if I said hi to you, but hi, just in case. So you might get an extra hi there. And it's so good to see everybody. So notice that I've got 2 links there. Actually, I haven't put these I should put these links in the description. I'll do that once we're done. Yeah, so they're clickable over in my my document, but you just like see this and this. Although it's underlined, it's not actually clickable. Anyway. Like, well, wow. That's like a really dismal free thing. Oh, like the polio vaccine. Yes. Yes. I mean, I guess polio is also free. Like, there's no charge for catching it. But, yeah. Scott, that would be great. I think I can do that, actually. If I go in kind of... Oh, it's moving things around. Okay, it's moving. Okie dokie. No, I don't want you to do that. Why do you keep... Okay, apparently I can't do that because it keeps moving the document around. So, I'll do that afterwards. I don't know why I can't just, like, select something. I'm not sure. I think because this is actually a Google slide, and I edited it so that it would fit into what I wanted it to look like, and that has something to do with it. It's all just one page. Exactly. I will worry. Oh, Scott, I think a lot of medical professionals... Hi, Andrew, even though I don't think you're actually here right now. It's the hidden cost that gets you. A lot of medical professionals are having some dark humor right now, and I kind of really don't blame them. Yeah, Geek, just in case, this is not the Steve Stives channel, so, preferably, yeah. Yeah, the BBC News, yes, so, and that leads into what was really interesting, which is going to be a little bit later, in that I had the 2 articles, and they don't say the same thing, which is pretty cool. Thank you, Some Random Geek. So here's the next one. This one crossed my Twitter feed. I was like, really cool. So it was actually the teacher who shared this, Rachel. And I said, hey, can I include this one? Oh, shoot. I meant to at her today. And then I was at the library. I forgot. Well, I will send her the link to the live stream, and maybe she'll come join us week after next, and she'll see that I talked about her, and she said it was okay, so I got permission first, and so yeah, she had apparently tweeted about having difficulty understanding what her students were saying because she's hearing impaired and she's masked, which I mean she can still kind of hear herself, but her students are masked as well, and even if she wasn't deliberately reading their lips, like that adds context and helps her understand what they're saying. And so she was just like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to teach anymore. And so a major manufacturer contacted her and said, we need you in the classroom. And they just got her hearing aids. Like they you know, she was, you know, she went through a range of tests to find out what would work, and she was fitted. And, you know, I was just like, that's really cool. I mean, it's like I mean, it's not. It is representation, but also it is support for, you know, people with disabilities and inclusion and, you know, diversity and everything that's good. And it's like and medical care access to medical care. I'm just like this is perfect for, you know, good news. So she seemed really happy about it. So she said that I could use that, and that just made me happy too. So yay. Black Cover 95, yes, library with books. I will talk about that. I actually have some books I want to show. Some of the books that I have from the library. Yay! I got to go to 2 libraries today, and it was lovely. I'll talk more. Oh wait, actually, that is next. Dun, 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 dun. That is my next one. So yeah, here we go. My local public library. So not only provides me access to the books that it has on its shelf, it's also part of the state's interlibrary loan system. I love interlibrary loan so much. It's so nice. I will say the interlibrary loan is not as nice in Georgia as it was back when I lived in Pennsylvania. I think there were more university systems that were in the interlibrary loan, and also Atlanta has its own system, and it does not participate in the state interlibrary loan system, which is a bummer. And the Atlanta library is absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so, but it also has books on the app Libby, so I can check out ebooks there, and I can also check out, like, physical copies of books. And the one that I'm reading right now is called A More Beautiful and Terrible History, and it's about the civil rights movement. And it was really, really timely in terms of, I started reading it right after Monday, which was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And it's literally talking about how, you know, people have sort of, and it talks about the making of Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a holiday, and how part of why Reagan did that was in order to sanitize his image, his reputation, and what he had done, and sort of, you know, take the teeth out of it. And so, you know, that had been on my feed a lot, was, you know, saying, don't just remember the whole, I want people to be judged by the content of the character, not the color of the skin. So, yeah, that's been really good. This is called Flamer. It's a graphic novel, and it's really sweet and heartwarming and nice, and just, oh, I want to give the kid a hug. It's sort of memoir-ish, but it is fictional, so it's based on some personal experience, but it's not like a story of his experience. Like, what was it? That's another one I will try to remember. I can see the cover of it. Oh, wait, here we are. He blurbed it. Hey, kiddo. Was the one that I read previous to this. And so that's hilarious. And I'm like, what was that other book? Oh, it's that. It's right there. See, another reason to be happy. That was like so fortuitous. All right, so there's that one. And let's see, what else have I got? This one I haven't started yet. On the Other Side of Freedom. So that's coming up. I'm super excited. The Case for Hope. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Lordy. How timely is that? How meaningful is that? Gracious. Yeah, but I think it's, you know, not just his children, but all the world's children. I think, yeah. Letter from a Birmingham jail. And then there were also people saying, you know, he has books. Like, check his books out from libraries. Read his books. You know, buy his books. You know, let's get them into circulation. The Practicing Stoic, which was all right, but, you know, was not really what I was looking for. It was not as practically helpful as I was hoping it would be. But that's okay. It was still, it still made the passing grade. Shape of Thunder. This one was good. This one tackles the aftermath of the pretty far aftermath. I think it's a year and a half later or something like that, of a school shooting. And some of the younger siblings of the people who were, the students who were involved. And I feel like overall it's really good. I feel like it's hard to it's definitely challenging subject matter, because especially this looks like the length is like YA-ish, like it's YA-ish, but it really feels like the main characters are 12, and so it feels more like middle grade, and that's just, wow, man, it's really hard for middle grade, and it wraps it up a little too neatly to be as realistic as it tries to be, but it's still a good book. So, still a good book. Yeah, Mountaintop is, I mean, they're all good speeches, let's be honest. And this just like crossed my Twitter feed this morning. You mentioned the Mlk Cartoon Movie. I am not familiar with it, but that made me think of TV, and that made me think of something I saw on my Twitter feed, which was some connection between the guy who's the substitute at Abbott Elementary and the guy who's the substitute teacher. And apparently he was like the kid Chris, and Everybody Hates Chris. Like there was some reference to it, and I was like, okay, I can kind of see that. I don't know if they're just making a thing like he looks like he was, or if he actually was, but I was like, that was kind of cool. Anyway, hey Andrew, you made it, I guess. Wait, hey Andrew. Hi guys. Okay, I won't say that everything's good, but there are a lot of good things. So, and then also, best book of 2022 so far. It may end up going the entire year through and being the best. If you get a chance, Jeff Zettner in the Wild. Oh my goodness, this book is so good, you guys. It's so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so good. And I don't say that just because it feels. I told our librarian, have to get this. This is actually, I had read this on Libby, and then why did I end up going to the library? I think it was because I had physical therapy, and I got out of school a little bit earlier than I thought, so I had some time, so I went to the library, and I said, do you have a copy of this? And they did, and it wasn't even on the shelves yet, and so they gave it to me, and I took it to, the next day, I took it to our school library, and I'm like, we have to get this book for our school library. It's so good, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. It's up for the Georgia Peach Award, it's up for the, not the Caldecott, the young adult version, the Sybils, it's up for the Sybils. It's so good! Holy smokes. It's so good. Oh, Andrew, I'm sorry you're gloomy, but you have every right to be. I know I was saying earlier that healthcare workers teachers got it tough. Healthcare workers got to speak. Oh, and then also, I got a copy of the Taily Poe, because one of my students, one of the things I asked them on the start of term survey was, what is a book that was read to you when you were little? And one of them mentioned the Taily Poe, and I remembered it. I was like, oh, I remember that story. So I checked it out, and I read that to them last week. And then today, when I went to the library, my local library, I was like, I want to get another book so that I can read to them again, and also so that I get credit for taking a book out this week, because I have all these books, but they were checked out like last week. And so I was like, I just want a kid's book because I don't want anything really big. And also then I can read it to my students. And so I looked at a couple of them, and then I saw this one, and it's called We Are Grateful. And when I saw that, I was like, that sounds like pushy positivity. I don't like it. But then I saw it has like all these stickers on the bottom. I'm like, it's got awards? What? And then I saw this, and I'm like, what? It's got a word I don't know. And the librarian who'd come over and was talking about some of these books with me, she said, yeah, this is a book by, it's won the American Indian Youth Literature Award. It was an honor book. Didn't actually win. But she said, this is either Cherokee or Creek. Cherokee. And she said, I wanted to get more books by Cherokee and Creek authors because that's the land that we're on. I was like, okay, I will like that. And when I read this book, it will be positive in a non-toxic way. So I'm going to share this with my students, and I'm so looking forward to it. So that is all the physical library books that I have out. I also have the one that's by the guy. Oh my gosh, the guy who's in the original series. Help. Who played, was it Sulu in the original series? Was he a member that, was he one of the original characters? George Takei, yes. I don't know if he was Sulu or not, or which, but he was on the original series. And so anyway, he wrote a book about his time, or about his experiences with the internment camps. And so I have that one, and I have something else, but I don't remember what it is. And that's like the next one after that one. So one of the nice things about Libby is that it takes the books away from you automatically. So you don't have to worry about making a trip. It's kind of convenient, but also you don't have to worry about late fees because it's just like, no, you're done. So, well, Black Cover 95, I'm sure there was, at some point in his life, he was not verified by YouTube. All right, so, the super, super exciting one. So, you guys, I'm like, this isn't like finalized or anything, but I've been accepted to partner with Georgia Public Broadcasting and the Georgia Department of Education to do video lessons, or to do a video lesson. I don't know if it's, for a bunch of them or what, but the script that I was working on for Tuesday, I've been sort of retooling, and it's not going to come out on Tuesday. But, so I'm going to send it in to them, and it's going to be like shown as part of the Georgia Department of Education. Because, they, we met on like Zoom. Actually, it was a Microsoft meeting thing that wasn't Zoom, but it was like Zoom. And so I told them, they said, you teach high school, right? Because they said, we're looking at developing our middle school stuff before we go on to high school. And I said, well, what I'm working on, I think would work for middle school. When I was working on this actually, this piece for Saturday's live stream, I noticed that these two articles didn't match. And that's where I'm really starting with introducing the need, not need to, but thinking critically about what we read and information, and how to say, I want more, I want to look into that. Because I said, and the reason that I have 2 articles there is because the one that crossed my social media feed was the New Atlas one. I was like, I don't know anything about New Atlas. I don't, I'm like, maybe it's, it could be a woo site, it could have like a bunch of like scammy stuff. I don't want to promote that. So like, once I found out, it mentioned that the vaccine was called Corbavax, I Googled that, and some other articles came up, and one of them was from Texas Children's Hospital. I'm like, okay, so I don't think they'd lie. I really don't. But what else do we have? And then one of them was another site that I didn't know, and another one was the BBC. I'm like, okay, I've heard of the BBC. It's like reputable, right? So I went with that, and then I found out that they didn't both say the same thing. And so that's really my lead in for, how do we judge what's presented to us as fact, as information? And in fact, this came up this morning in one of my education tweet chats. Somebody said about the importance of having students, understand the difference between different types of articles, and the need for objective journalism. I was like, I don't like that, because there's no such thing as objective reporting, no such thing as objective news. And I talked with the people at Georgia Department of Education and GBB about this. I was really excited. I'm like, it's not. I said, because there are still subjective decisions in just writing and producing these articles, because even if you stick with the facts and you're not editorializing, I'm talking really fast, guys, because I'm so excited. I don't know, because I'm talking about education, I'm talking about a cool thing that's happening. So even if the article sticks to facts and it does not editorialize, and it doesn't use like emotional language and things like that, and it doesn't rely on anecdotes, but it relies on data and statistics, you still got to decide what your lead is. You have to decide. You can't include all the information everywhere. Not actually possible. So you have to decide what information you're going to have room to include, you're going to be able to include, which information you include first, what your lead is, what the headline's going to look like, what the title of the article is, what your closer is going to be, because that's another part that's really strong. So, some random geek, I'm going to demodifier you. I'm gonna demod you. No! Objectivity is a lie. Anyway, a lie is it's an illusion. It's a lovely illusion, and it gives us a false sense of security. It doesn't exist. So that was going to be my next video, and it might still be. I don't know. But I'm sort of retooling it, and really, because what I said was, yes, I'm designing this for high school, but I think a lot of my content could be appropriate for middle schoolers, also because I don't swear, but also because a lot of what I'm including in my videos is what I want to reinforce for my high school students, because they can just watch the video at any time. And if they go back and watch it, or if they watch it when I'm not there, I'm not going to be around to explain it. So I have to do it in a way that's not like, here's something completely new. Ta-da! Good luck. Bye. So, it's, it's a lot of it deals with materials and standards that they should have learned before, like the one where I say, put a period at the end of the sentence. A period at the end of the sentence. If it's a statement, it gets a period. If it's a question, it gets a question mark. If it's an exclamation, it gets an exclamation point. If it's a statement, put a period at the end. It's not that complicated. Period at the end. Don't just stop and leave it hanging, okay? If it's in text, if it's on a tweet, that's fine. If it's in social media, not a big deal. In an academic paper, for the love of whatever you consider sacred, put a period at the end of your statement. Thanks, guys. So, but yeah, that stuff, you learn that in like first grade, maybe kindergarten. I don't know. Anyway, hoy. So I am super excited about that. The video is supposed to be a little bit longer than I usually do, but I'm good at talking. So I think I can manage that. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm so excited about the possibility of sharing that ideas. So moving on. Woo, boy, I can talk. The ship Revenge? Sarah, your dad was on the ship Revenge? Like the Dreadfire Roberts? That is like so cool. All right, number 6. Okay, so I started looking at doctoral programs. Having just recently gotten my master's, and that was like a lot of work. And also, working full-time. War Corpse 666 book. I will take your word for it. Give me a comment, like a comment with the title, and I'll look for it on Goodreads. Anyway, so I started poking around for doctoral programs, just seeing, what comes next. And one of the programs I looked at was Stanford. And so I looked at, what their faculties, what their faculty is studying, what their areas of interest are. And that is how I found out about this particular professor. And his research is in gaming in literature, like in gaming in education and the literature of games. And I'm just like, that's like my jam. I really got interested in the applicability and the utility of games when I found out about a game, which is, I think it's in its 10th season now, called Zombies Run, which is an app for your phone. And you can do it either just with the pedometer or with GPS. And essentially, you turn on the audio, and it tells you a little story, and then you can sync it with your music. So you'll get like a 30-second to a minute of radio story. And then, you'll listen to your music as you're out for a walk or a run. And then as you're walking or running, based on, how long you're going, you'll pick up supplies for the base that you're in. Like you'll pick up cans of food or bottles of water or bandages or sports bras or medicine, things like that. And then once you say the run is complete, it logs that you have these supplies, and you can build up your township kind of like in Animal Crossing or other things like that. So it combines the narrative of the story while you're running with the gameplay aspect of building up your, building up the walls and, building a medical center for your little town. So it's a lot of fun. And, looking at the effects, people actually were talking about how this made them look forward to exercise. And I was like, that's really cool how it integrates the different aspects of gameplay to build upon itself. And you had to, your town had to be at a certain level in order for you to unlock more story missions. You could re-listen to them, but in order to progress the story, and they are episodic, like each one is its own story, but they also build. There's an ongoing story arc throughout each season. So the narrative, is it's really well crafted, and you get invested in these characters and you want to find out what happens next. So you have to develop your town in order to get the next part of the story. So it's all sort of linked together. And that got me really interested in what story and games can do and how we can link that to people's behavior and how they respond to that. So I got really interested in that, and I've been really interested in the development of games as a result. And this is now we're using it in education, and it's not just about playing little quiz games, which does get students involved a little bit, mostly because it's a variety. It changes things up. It's different from what they normally do in class, because if you're always playing review games, then they get bored with that too. But something like this, where there's actually, the progression in the game is linked to the progression of their skills and their behavior, I think would be really cool. And that's the work that he's doing. So anyway, I started following him on Twitter, and he retweeted that he was going to be doing this lecture with the Toronto Writing Project. And I was like, hey, that's after hours, that's when I'm at home. It's at 6 p.m. So I can go and I can listen to that. And I signed up for it, and there wasn't a charge for it. And I got to go, and it was on Zoom, and there were only 12 of us there. And I got to talk with other teachers who were really excited about these things. And it was so cool. And we all exchanged our Twitter handles. And so now I have more people who are excited about teaching and nerdy stuff. And that was really, really cool. So that's 6 things that I am super excited about. And whew. Now I'm going to just sort of go over to, where is it? This. So that's gone. That is my closet door. I'm going to scoot over here, and I'm going to eat some of the ice cream that is melting. And you tell me what is going on in your lives. And let's see, it's 6:33. At 6:40, I'm going to show you something really cool. So, Yes, local colleges and auditing classes, and the opportunity. Let me tell you, teachers are suckers for people who are excited about learning. They do have to abide by college policy, so there may be a charge for you sitting in on classes, but if you're not there to get credit, then some random week, that's baloney. I didn't say a lick about Dungeons & Dragons, I will have you know. Although Professor Garcia did write an article about gender and race and culture throughout the development of Dungeons & Dragons in the different iterations. So that was pretty cool. That is very alliterative, Steve. As an English teacher, I approve. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, gosh, yeah. The whole critical race theory. That's just why? You can't... Ignoring something doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Steve, you're like Miss Scarlet. It's my defense mechanism. Some random week. That's not it. Those are cool, yes, but it's not the same as a live discussion where you get to interact. That y'all know that's my jam, is comments and talking to people who are excited about some of the same things. I'm so Sarah. You got 6 things. Well, share them. Golly, I'm so glad to hear that. Ghost Wheel. If you are familiar with Order of the Stick, you'll understand why that made me laugh. I rolled a 4! Anyway, it's funny in my heart. Yeah, yes. And especially if there's something like this, where there's a chat feature, and so you can't talk to the panelists per se during the discussion, because they're doing their thing. But you can talk to the other people who are there. And you can talk about the topics and come up with questions that you want to ask and things like that. Super cool. So, yeah, that was so much fun. So yeah, I would love to be able to do a PhD at Stanford. But I don't think I can just move. I don't think I can. And also it would take a little while. So I don't know that I don't know any colleagues who have taken a sabbatical. Oh, the tub the ice cream. This is Halo Top, and this flavor is, oh gosh, the whole nut. Here we go. Sea salt caramel, and it's got a whole bunch of erythritol in that sucker, so it's not it's a sugar substitute, and also it's high protein. So it sort of makes you feel a little bit more full than ice cream typically does, and it's just very, very happy face. Wait, not for real? For real or not for real? What am I? You're doing? Well, so are you doing Krav Maga, Sarah, or not? Some random geek, yes, that would be a very good thing. But there are other good things. Even in a bad world, in a bad society, there are good things. Good things still exist. For example, Halo Top. Like, that ice cream, that's pretty darn tasty. I like it. Andrew, thank you for sharing. That was chef's kiss. That was awesome. Not Amazon. Oh, but not Amazon. Okay, so yeah, I'm going backwards through the chat. Yeah, Radical Bacon, absolutely, but I don't know if Stanford does that. I would, if they did, that would be fantastic. I got my master's through an online program. They did all of the work was through Canvas, I think, was their learning management system. Oh, Vilcata, gracious! You can't have pizza or ice cream. Well, you can have pizza, just not pizza with like dairy-based cheese, a dairy allergy. So it's not just that you're lactose intolerant, I'm guessing. And also there's things like sorbet. I usually get this because, my thing is the reduced sugar is super helpful. But how about this? I have tea. Tea. This one is herbal. And I think this is Republic of Tea vanilla rooibos, I think. So it's very nice. And there are some good dairy-free ice creams out there. And there is a vegan restaurant called Cashew in Chattanooga. I haven't gone there because, pandemic. And it's a little far. It's on the north side, and I'm south of Chattanooga. It's on the north side, so it's a little bit far for, like, takeout. Because, like, by the time you get home, it's kind of funky. Anyway, but yeah, their cheese is really good. And like all of their food is really tasty. Like you have to, my dad was like, yeah, but it doesn't taste like beef. Like they have a jackfruit barbecue. Oh my gosh, it's so good. But it doesn't taste like pork. It doesn't have the texture of pork. That's okay. It's not pork. It's jackfruit. And it still tastes good. So yeah, that's super good. I have not had that, Andrew, but I have had mochi, which is very tasty. And that's based on, that's a rice dough around ice cream. A very little frozen treat. Lovely. Radical Bacon, 12 consecutive. Oh, I'm so jealous. I did, however, make it to a stopping point on my Lois Lane Writes Clickbait fanfiction, and I submitted that to my writing group. So this month, I actually have something to, I am the worst at getting stuff submitted from my writing group. Tis what tis. Yeah, Scott, exactly. Like, it doesn't have to, like, be cheese to be good. There are other things that are good, and they can be cheese-like without being cheese and still be quite tasty. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, but, I mean, some random geek, if you're, if you're lactose intolerant, I understand that hard cheeses are sometimes okay, depending on, like, how intolerant you are. So, no. Well, Vilcata, let's see, dairy and what was the other thing? Lactose. Da, 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 da. Yeah, you can have. I think you can have like the dark chocolate. Of course, maybe you don't like dark chocolate. Then you're just out of luck, my friend. Dun, 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 dun. Yep, Vilcata. I had the same experience when I just was like, when I felt the earth move under my feet. I did not feel the sky tumbling down. No, what I felt tumbling down was me, and that was hard cheese. That is really good. There was we have one in the fridge that is given to us by a friend who is lactose intolerant and got it because it was a hard cheese and then just didn't like it. But it's cheddar with horseradish. I like it. It's really tasty, and I had it on some cheese toast. Oh, that was lovely. Yes. And yeah, you can have pizza without cheese, and you can have pizza with like not real cheese. Oh, it's 6:42. We went past 6:40, and at 6:40 I said I was going to show you some. So, I said that I didn't have it with me last stream, but I got gift cheese. I got my favorite game book to show you guys. So this is my favorite one. It's a game called 7th Sea. And it's just the best, you guys. It's so exciting and so fun. Seriously, look at this picture. Look at that swashbucklingness. This is the player's guide. How can you not be excited by that? The artwork throughout it. The artwork throughout it is a little on the cheesy side on like the regular pages. Let's see here. Oops. Let's get through some of it is a little, let's see. Charts. Charts. Lots of charts. Come on, give me a picture. Charts. Oh, wait. Was that a picture? Yeah. So, the artwork is very dramatic and dynamic. Very much like it. And so it's historical fiction. And it's based on sort of the post-Renaissance era. Yeah, just shut up, Steve. It's okay. And it's so awesome. Like, it takes all of it's set in not Europe. It's set in Thea, okay? Which is like totally not Europe. But you have like, and then each country has like sort of a different vibe to it. So you have Avalon, which is totally not England, you guys. But like, you have here we go, the Queen. So who is, I think, Queen Elaine. And she's like a cross between Arthur, because she's been gifted by the Fae. She's been, sort of chosen as their chosen one, sort of like King Arthur. But also she's like Queen Elizabeth, because, you also have that Renaissance, and, that they've split from the not Catholic Church, the Vatican Church, and have developed are starting to develop their own traditions. And then you have, let's see, okay, so you have Jeremiah Barrack, who is this guy, who is not a pirate, but he's a privateer. And then you have this guy who is kind of like a cross between Puck and Merlin. So he's like sort of weird, and he's kind of an advisor to the Queen, but he's, he can, like, One Eye, do they do that? Let me see. Is he the one who, I think he's the one who One Eye sees into the past and One Eye sees into the future, maybe, or I might be remembering that from another one. Yeah, like the rooibos is red tea, and it's called tea, though because you steep it, even though there's not actually any tea leaves in it. So then you also have Castile, which is totally not Spain, you guys, and does totally not have Leonardo DiCaprio as the young king. And you have El Vago, who is totally not Zorro, but it's totally Zorro. And of course, with a red, you have the Vatican Church. So it's like all the cool stuff about Spain and, Castile. And oh no, Andrew. I'm sorry. Andrew, I'm so sorry. I'm sending you a COVID-safe mental hug. And then you have Eisen, which is totally not Germany. Look at that. Look at all that rain and the gray. And so you have not Martin Luther, and you have they have a special kind of super steel, which is called Dracheneisen, and their dragon iron armor. Not even gunfire can penetrate a breastplate made from Eisen steel. It's the greatest military force in the world. However, it has seen better times. They are going through a time of religious strife. The Thea's longest and bloodiest war, bickering baronies, all squabbling for the most precious pieces of war-ravaged mud. Any other nation would surrender to the despair that surrounds them, but there is no word in the Eisen language for surrender. Dun dun dun. So yeah, very, very, look at the dude. So it's also moving into the modern era with merchant princes, and so this guy's got the lace collar there. So yeah, really cool. Very much like, we are tough, da da da. No, I mean but like that sort of we are stalwart, we are German, we do not give in, we don't give up, never surrender, and we keep going, and we dig in our heels, and so it's sort of the image of that. And then you have Montaigne with the Sun King. I mean, like, seriously. And then you have the Musketeers, literally Musketeers, and but at the same time, they're the wealthy people are very wealthy, and the poor people are very poor, but let them eat cake. And so, there's the possibility of revolution. He is Montaigne, ruled by the Emperor Léon Alexandre du Montaigne. He is the most powerful monarch in Thea. He is the heart of high culture. Just ask him. The Emperor's personal escort, Le Garde du Soleil, which means, the Sun Guard, are among the finest fencers in Thea. Their reputation is, come on, it's the Three Musketeers and the French Revolution all together, and just like, aww. Yes, exactly, Sarah! Peter Quincy Taggart. He's German. And then Yusurna! Look at them! Oh my goodness, look at them! And then you also have Matryoshka, I think is in here. Grandmother Winter, but also, she's like grandmother, like the land. She is like the heart of their people. And so, look at this guy, the sorcerer-looking guy over here. He's totally not the sorcerer guy. Yeah, it's awesome. And their magic is that they can turn into animals. Super cool. And Vendel and Vestmenjar. So these guys, this is like a cross between the Vikings and, let me get I'm going to drop the book. No, don't drop the book. And the Dutch. And so they're having, like, the Viking people want to maintain their traditions, and then there are other people in their community who have dropped their traditions and become, they keep their ships, but they have become merchant princes and are trading with the other nations and are adopting some of their customs, and they're becoming very wealthy because of their ability to get around, because they're an archipelago. And so the traditionalists are like, no, we're losing our heritage, and the modernists are like, yeah, but we're gaining money, and money is good, and we live more comfortably. We don't have to like go and scrounge for food and to stay warm and for things we need for medicine. And so there's that conflict there. And Vorace. Look at that indigo. I can never get this to look at that indigo. And so you have the courtesans, and then you have the wives who are their fate witches, the noble women. They're fate witches, but they're not allowed to learn to read. Like they have a very minimal education because because it is immoral for women to learn to read. So only the courtesans are schooled, but they are not allowed to have kids. And so it's just, oh my gosh, it's so good. And then of course the Virachi men are the ones who are in control, but they're not really in control because in this country the magic only exists for the women. So the fact that and only for the noble women. So like there's the issue of gender, and there's the issue of class, and it's all embodied here in the story. Oh my goodness. So it's like, honestly, I should have brought this to when I was talking to the dual enrollment teachers. So So this is what you should use for the textbook. So yeah. Okay, so I kept that under 10 minutes. Whew. Anyway. Hi, home buddy. Good to see you. I hope you've had a wonderful week. I think that's all of my happy stuff. And then also I got to go to the nearby library for yoga today. And also I checked out a book. And then I went to the Chattanooga library downtown. And I volunteered, and theirs is bigger. And I went to the reference section, and I'm cleaning off the books very carefully. And they give me very little cotton gloves. I'm going to ask them if they will please get some larger gloves, because like they came down to here on me, and like the fingers kind of are like coming down to here, and I'm just like I stick them on and kind of working like this. But Sarah Scott. I mean, that's revolutionary talk there, young lady. Very young lady. So I got to do that, and I got to go to I did 3 things. Maybe this was the 3rd thing, and I was very excited. I got to do this. This is another happy thing. So, so yeah, it's been good. One of the less nice things is that I've had a lot of student absences at school, and I worry about them. I am learning to let go of that. I'm getting lots of practice with it. No, actually, because kid gloves are made from kid leather. That's why they're called that. Sorry. No, I have to wear the gloves in order to clean the books, because the gloves, you wear the cotton gloves so that the oils from your hands don't make the books worse, because they're old. Well, take that up with Steve, because that's the one I haven't bailed on it yet, mind you. But yeah, sorry, Scott. At this point, I'm not feeling like bailing out of DS9. So. Oh, well, Madeline, I'm glad you moved on from that. People telling you how to live your life, kind of not cool. And yeah, I hope by the time you get to do that you can do so safely, and they provide you with the PPE that you need to do so safely. Because no, Sarah, I'm seriously not. People can tell me what to do all they want, but I'm going to make decisions for myself. So, Steve, that's a stretch even for you. To the end of DS9, it builds. Yeah, but I mean, we're only watching 1 episode every other week, so it's going to be a while. So we'll see. Okay. Hi, Black Cover. It's good to see you again. I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to hear about? Because I think that's it. And I talked a whole lot, so I need more tea. Are they all natural Girl Scout cookies? Sarah, no. Oh, radical bacon. Yep. That's one of the nicest things about working in schools, because people absolutely will lose their minds driving on snow. But when I work at a school, if it gets at all dangerous driving, they say, no, we're not going to put kids in danger, and they're going to close the schools. And so then we can just wait for the snow to melt and then go out and do what we need to do. So yeah, honestly, I would say Georgians probably know less about snow. Well, Georgians in the U.S. know less about snow than Virginians. Black Cover, go ahead. Ask away. I mean, go ahead and ask, not ask away, because this is not ask away. That's proprietary. Aw, you're so thoughtful, Steve. Everything but the very, very best stuff. Matthew, that's me too. There was some sliding off the road occasionally, but it was like late at night and there wasn't anybody around. So you just sort of turn, hope the wheels don't spin, you get back on the road, and it's okay. Don't tell. Yeah, random geek thoughts, because they're used to rain. Oh yeah, I need more tea. I'm like, reach. Oh, whoops. Okay. I don't know what the question is. Oh yeah, there's a lag. There's a delay. So I'm practicing being patient. This is good for me. I'm being patient. What did you need ground beef for, Radical Bacon? I am very partial to sausage. Like, they are Kalita, but I am fond of Thin Mints, especially if they're refrigerated. I don't know why that makes them better, but it totally makes them better. And Samoas are really, really nice. I am very partial to caramel, as you can tell by my ice cream choice. Well, oh, which Girl Scout? I don't get Girl Scout cookies, Geek. I'm sorry. I'm very, very particular about how I, divvy up my calories. So I am not so fond of Girl Scout cookies as I am of other things. So I'm guessing, is that your question, Black Cover? Because I don't know. Anyway, Black Cover, if you got a question, you can put it in a comment because I'm going to close the stream and say goodnight, Gracie. And I must write that down. I'm very curious. Oh yeah, this was another not so great thing. First of all, I have a cold sore on this part of my lip, so it's a different sensation. Also, still not pleasant. I chipped my tooth. You can kind of see there. Right here. It's chipped. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to say goodnight, folks. Good night, folks. And press the button. And I'm going to go get more tea and take it easy for the rest of the evening. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Get some rest. Remember to take care of yourselves and remember that you are loved. Bye, everybody. Where's my button? There's a button here. Hey, there's a button. Okay, bye for real.